Hi guys! In the past few years, flat design ruled almost every area in the market, but not anymore. In today's design, they look more like dimensional and animated. It doesn't matter what program they use, they are looking like a 3D. But today, I'm gonna show you that one of the eye-catching technique called multi-layered parallax effects in Photoshop. Parallax effect is After Effects techniques, which is panning and zooming images to create a motion and perspective. Let's begin. Go to File in Photoshop, browse in Bridge, navigate your folder. Mine is on my desktop. Double-click on image folders. There are different types file format. Select one image. Right mouse click on it. Open in Camera Raw. In this method, you can open any file format. You can open this way. But next method works on only raw file. Highlight the raw file. Double click on it. It opens in Camera Raw. Adobe Camera Raw is really powerful that allows us to non-destructive way to edit raw JPEG TIFF files with an easy-to-use interface. Because it is automated already, you don't need to do mask out, don't need to worry about layers, and you don't need to do anything for workflow. Only what you need to do, drag the slider from left, right to get the better look. I recommend that you use Camera Raw to make your image look their best before they got into Photoshop. Let's click Open Image. Okay, we have an image in Photoshop. Rule of thumb, always duplicate your original image before you do anything. Highlight background layer, holding down Option Command J on Mac, Alt Control J on PC. I'm gonna name BG. Click OK. So I got the duplicate layer. After that, I'm gonna toggle off the visibility on the background layer by clicking eyeball. So I decide I'm gonna divide this image into like a foreground, background. Okay, sometimes I need a middle ground or other elements as well, but on this particular, I need only foreground, background. Let's make a selection. In the tool panel, there's a quick selection and magic wand tool over here. I'm gonna use a quick selection tool today. In order to use it, I have to make a high contrast image. There are several ways you can do that. Today, I'm gonna use the channel. Go to channel and try to get a high contrast channel, which is blue. I made a copy. Let me do it one more time. Highlight the blue channel. Click and drag it onto the new layers icon on the bottom of the layers panel. Let go. There you go. You have one copy of the blue channel. I'm gonna work on this channel. Go to image, adjustment, levels. Try to make it darker to get a high contrast. Okay. I'm gonna select quick selection tool once again. Highlight the quick selection tool, holding down spacebar only. At this moment, I got temporary hand tool, which is I can scoot over all the area one that I want to work on. Once you set up everything, I'm gonna drag around my subject like that. But don't worry about the extra selection. Let me make a mistake over here. Okay, I select more than what I need, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna subtract my selection from by holding down Option key, and then I'm gonna trace back along my path of my subject. Let me pause the video a few seconds and then I will right back. And turn on the visibility over here, and then let's go back to the layers and highlight the BG layer and I'm gonna copy and paste it onto the new layer. By doing it, hold down Command J on Mac, Control J on PC. I copy and paste it and put it on a new layer. I'm gonna name people, and then one more time I'm gonna holding down Command and click the thumbnail on the people layer in order to load the selection again. And then I'm changing my layer to BG. Try to remove those group of people from the background. Go to Edit, Fill, under Content Aware. Make sure mode normal, opacity 100%, click OK. Ta-da! There is no people anymore in the background. That's nice. Deselect, Command D, or go to Select and deselect over here. I about to clean the stain around this area using Clone Brush tool. Get a Clone Stamp tool from Tool panel. Go up to Option bar, make sure the mode is normal and opacity 100%, flow 100%. Normally I put sample all the layers. There are 3 options, but normally I put it all layers. Okay, once you got selected all the options, I'm gonna come back to the layers, create new layer. You can go to fly out menu, new layers, or you can just simply click the icon, new layer icon over here. We have to have a sample area, source area. Okay, by doing it, holding down Option on Mac, Alt on PC, click, hold down Option and click the area, and then I'm gonna sample, I'm gonna clone from that area over this stain area. It is hard to see what I have done. That's why I'm gonna show you the layer. Holding down Option, click the eyeball. This is what I have done. This is exactly the reason I can put those changes on a separate layer. If you think that's too much, you can adjust the opacity, lower the opacity, and make it a little bit lighter. If you are okay with the 100%, you can put it at 100%. But when I use the 3D camera, this area will be okay because the group of people is gonna be here, cover this area. But her has to have a whole body because she's gonna be outside of the 3D camera. Okay, let's work on that one. When I look around this photo, this girl and this girl has the same direction and almost very similar pose. I'm gonna reduce my brush size, make it small, and carefully I'm gonna select even her shadow, and then I'm gonna holding down my Option key and subtract from my selection. Highlight the BG, Command J on Mac, Control J on PC. Hit the V on your keyboard in order to get a move tool. Zoom out. I'm gonna borrow her body over here. And then I'm gonna scoot over, Command T on Mac, Control T on PC, holding down Shift and Alt. I'm gonna make it big. Move over onto her. In order to accept, there are several ways. You can hit Return on Mac, or you can hit Enter on PC, or you can hit the check mark here, or you can double click inside of the bounding box. There you go. I need to find out the way. How can I restore her upper body? Okay. Well, in order to do that, I'm gonna make a new layer over here. Zoom in more, scoot over. I'm gonna use the Clone Brush tool, or I'm gonna use the Lasso tool. Try to trace this area. Even though this is a tiny area, it's gonna help me a lot. Okay, Command J, because obviously I am on empty. highlight the PG, Command J to copy. B on keyboard for the move tool. I'm gonna move this one here. And I'm gonna move it around this area. Command T for transform tool. I'm gonna rotate it. And right mouse click. I'm gonna get the perspective view. Try to make it smaller. I'm gonna use the clone brush tool. Make a smaller brush. Holding down Option, sample it. One more time. Tackle the small area first. That way you can have a more larger area you can clone from. I'm gonna sample this one. Then I'm gonna sample like that. Create the definition of her arm. Over here, yes, same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing, but I needed some type of angle to do it. There is the way you can do it. Go to Window, Clone Source, change the angle, maybe this much. I'm not sure. Probably more. There you go. I'm gonna pause the video for a while and then I will be right back. Obviously, I need to take care of this part. Okay, I'm gonna extend this fence. There are several ways. Still, you can use the clone brush tool, but there is a better way, clean way we can do that. Highlight the BG layer, and I'm gonna go get some polygonal lasso tool underneath of the lasso tool. This much. And you can see there's a circle around that indicator of you are about to close the path selection. Right? Command J, hit the V, move tool. I'm gonna move this one over here. Okay. And then, but obviously the proportion doesn't match. I'm gonna fix it. Command T for the transform tool, holding down Shift and Alt. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, way bigger. Then we'll see. I'm gonna align those shadow and the fence, the straight line over here. One, highlight the layer. Then I'm gonna apply the mask. Brush tool. Make sure your foreground is black. About to hide those fence. Okay. When you hit 3, your opacity automatically change to the 30. I create so many layers in order to make a decent background, but I don't need this separate layer. Normally I keep it, but in this case I don't need it because I'm gonna make an animation. Okay. Highlight the first layer, hold down Shift key, and select the last layer you want to include. Highlight all of them, and then I'm gonna change my modifier, holding down Command and letter E. Hit the E. You just merge the layers, just like this. Okay, we just finished the hard part. Let's fun part begin. I'm gonna convert this layer to smart object. Same thing, the people layer, I'm gonna convert to the smart object. And once you got one, highlight those 2 layers, go to Window, Timeline. Alright, I want to see more. Let's push up a little bit. And I'm gonna click the Create Video Timeline. Once you got that one, I want to play with the people layer first. Highlight the people layer. Click the arrow right next to the people. You will see 3 options. You can play with it, but today I'm gonna play with the transform only. Once you click the watch icon right next to it means you insert first keyframe. I'm gonna go with this position first, and then I'm gonna move playhead to the last frame. Then I'm gonna hold down Command and T in order to get the transform tool. Then I'm gonna hold down Shift and Alt on PC, Shift Option on Mac, constrain the proportion, and I'm gonna move them a little bit to the left, and also I'm gonna rotate them a little bit. Double click inside of the bounding box in order to accept the modification. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I have done. Okay, they are moving now. How awesome is that? Insert the frame on the layer 6, which is BG. Open up the arrow, click the watch icon. I insert the last frame over here. I want to keep this size, but instead of changing any of them over here, I'm gonna move my playhead in the first frame, hit the diamond shape over here. I'm gonna add keyframe at the playhead. Click that one. From here, I want to make some changes. Command T for the transform tool on the background. Holding down Shift, Option, constrain the proportion. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, my background image. I think that's good enough. Let go, double click inside of the bounding box. Okay, at this point, let's save the project first. Go to File, Save As. Save As. I'm gonna get the Parallax. PA. And make sure the format is Photoshop, Alpha Channel, Layers. Everything's go with the default setting. Click Save. Before I render the video, I want to point out several things. First of all, there is a fade icon on the timeline, which means you can apply the transition between those two clips. But I don't have that many clips today, but I'm gonna apply fade with the black to the end of the clip. But I'm gonna choose fade with the black. Click it, drag it onto, apply onto the last frame. Same thing on the background as well. And then I'm gonna adjust the duration of the transition. Click it, grab from the edge, shrink it down 21 seconds. That will be okay. Also, there is the plus sign over there. When you click that one, you can add more clips onto the existing clips. Last but not least, when you look at the bottom of the timeline, there's the audio track, which means you can add some sort of soundtrack. Click the musical note over here. Once you click it, there is an add audio. I'm gonna click it. It's gonna take me to the new window to navigate my music. There's a music.wave file. Highlight it, click OK. I'm gonna shrink it down the music a little bit, make it shorter, like 5 seconds. Grab the end of the music file and bring it in. Simply just bring it in to almost 5 seconds, a little bit longer. Let's save the file. Go to File, Save. Let me play the preview before I go to render this video, okay? I'm gonna go to the gear icon, loop playback, and then I will tap the play button. There you go. There is two places you can go to render. Go to File, Export, Render Video. Or you can go to Flyout menu here. There is a render video. There are a bunch of them. You can play with it. But today I'm just gonna render the video. There is the render video window pop up. I'm gonna give them a nice name over there. And then select the place you wanna save. And I'm gonna create the new folder for Parallax. And format H.264. Preset, when you click the drop down menu, you can have a lot of options, you can get it. But my plan is to put it on a YouTube, so I'm gonna get the YouTube HD 1080p. Also size preset, and the frame rate 29.97. And I'm gonna go with the default setting, rest of them, okay? And then I'm gonna click the render button. It begins to render. Okay, this is kind of a rough cut, but you will get that idea. If you have any question, please email me, okay? Thank you for watching. See you next time.